Hello, fellow litigators. Court is now in session. We are gathered here today for a very sad, tragic story today. Twitch, well-known, talented dancer. He was very well known for being on the Ellen Show. Unfortunately, passed away today in a very tragic, horrific way. And we're going to get into the details of it. It's very sad because some people in society will deal with depression and mental health struggles, and they'll even hide it from people that are very close to them. They will wear smiles and sometimes appear to be overly happy and overly secure in themselves, when in reality, secretly, they are battling secret depressions that even they don't share with people that are their most cherished loved ones, such as spouses and children and parents. They'll just hold it inside because they feel responsibility and pressure to be the pillars of strength for their family, especially for men. Men in society are pressured to be pillars of strength and be the backbone for their family. And so sometimes they feel as though they cannot show any appearance of vulnerability because it makes them feel like they are weak. And when they are pressured in this way, it can build up deep depression and deep hopelessness because they feel like they cannot be vulnerable or show times when they're feeling really down. So let's get into this article. Daily Mail did a great article, and I really would like to read it to you because I think it's really detailed. I loved him with all of my heart. Ellen pays tribute to co-star DJ Stephen, Twitch boss. He was 40 years old. After he unalived himself in a motel bathroom near his LA home, he left his wife frantically searching for him 3 days after their anniversary. And it's so tragic because I'll show you on his Instagram, they danced and appeared to be very happy. And of course, you know, they're both dancers and they dance with their children. And you would think on the outside that this was a perfect family, but not everything appears as it seems. Stephen Twitch Boss has just celebrated his 9th wedding anniversary with his wife, Allison Holker. He worked as a DJ and then executive producer on The Ellen Show from 2014 until it was canceled in May of this year. Police have confirmed that he was found unalived at a Los Angeles hotel room. It was just a 15-minute walk from his home with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and it was to the head. It appears as though this young man, he actually planned this out because he took very meticulous steps from calling the hotel room to schedule the room to intentionally leaving his vehicle at home. These appear to be specific steps he took with a particular plan in mind, which means he appears to have been battling with some secret depression for a long period of time that reached a brink for him. And usually these type of depressions really, really start to become grandiose in the colder winter weathers, the colder winter seasons. People start to really experience and center in on the depressions they've already been facing because they have to sit at home and now they're faced with whatever struggles they've been dealing with. And a lot of times the reality of those depressions can be all consuming for these individuals. And when they feel the pressure to harbor this pain alone because they have to be this pillar of strength and the backbone for their family, it becomes more magnified to them. Hotel workers told DailyMail.com that they discovered the dancer's body after he failed to check out of the Oak Tree Inn on Tuesday. Allison has posted a heartfelt tribute to her husband, saying, She would always save the last dance for him. It is so sad. I feel sad for her because I don't think she probably even really knew what was going on with him because he probably hid it from her. Ellen has paid tribute to the DJ Twitch as her family after he died aged 40 years old from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Stephen Boss has been found deceased in a room at the Oak Tree Motel in Los Angeles, a 15-minute walk from his home at about 11:15 a.m. And it appears as though he checked into the room and they said he never got out of the room. So he probably went in there and just is sad what he did. Ellen said in a statement, "I'm heartbroken. Twitch was pure light and he was my family. I loved him with all of my heart." And you would think a man who had it all. He had a beautiful house. He had two or at least two beautiful children and then a stepchild. He had a wonderful wife. He was close with his father, his grandfather, or he calls him dad, but grandfather. You just would wonder what was really going on with him. I will miss him. Please send your love and support to Allison and his beautiful children, Wesley, Maddox, and Zaya. So it's a total of 3. But I know he had one stepchild because Allison had one child from a prior relationship. Motel staff told DailyMail.com that a maid discovered the DJ's body while performing a welfare check after he failed to check out on time. They said he used his own name to check into the hotel on Monday and was not discovered until Tuesday morning. So sad. And here's a photo of him. He appeared to have a really close relationship with Ellen. You would see them just show signs of endearment on the show. And this is one example of it, where they just embrace each other in a beautiful hug, seem to really love one another very dearly. So I know Ellen's taking it pretty hard. I kind of asked myself, was one of the reasons, could it have been because the Ellen show ended so prematurely? And, you know, of course, other factors he'd been dealing with. Did he feel some sense of depression after the show ended? Maybe a sense of purpose, maybe didn't feel any sense of purpose for his life. I know he had some other things going on in his life too that was coming up for him with the Say the Last Dance opportunity that he was doing. But I wonder if there was some depression that built after the end of the Ellen show also, because that just ended in May. So I wonder, you know, did he start building this depression? And when winter comes around, a lot of depression gets magnified. A lot of people experience deep forms of depression. You're forced to be at home. You're forced to be at home with your thoughts, isolated. You know, summertime, you can go and do different things and distract yourself from depression. But when winter comes along, you have to be forced to stay in the house and deal with the thoughts that you've been battling or trying to avoid for several months throughout the year. But we will never know, guys. Ellen posted a heartfelt tribute to the DJ, calling him family and saying she was heartbroken by the incident. So very sad, guys. Oh my gosh, my heart. So this is the picture of the hotel room. Or not the hotel room, sorry. This is the picture of the hotel where he went. It's the outside. It was called the Oak Tree Inn, where he shot himself. And it was he walked, and imagine 15-minute walk is not as quick as you think. This man literally, okay, he had thought about this and planned this and had been dealing with depression. So the sad part is when he was smiling on those different pictures and videos on Instagram, he already thought about what he was going to do. That's the sad, depressing part about it, how a lot of people are dealing with depression and they wear this smile, you know, for their family, for their friends, for people around them. And I think in particular for him, he probably had to be the backbone and strength, pillar of strength for that family, being that strength. And there's probably something he was hiding from his wife that he had to keep to himself and buried it away. And that makes it more depressing because this man, literally, you know, meticulous, he did this all planned. He called the hotel, he reserved the room, and walking 15 minutes, that's time to really think and be alone with your thoughts. The person to have an opportunity to walk back home and say, you know what, I'm not going to do this. But he literally was walking 15 minutes thinking about what he was going to do, and not once did he decide to turn back. So there had been something that really led this man to feel like he wanted to do this. It's so sad. DJ Stephen Twitch Boss died at age 40 from self-inflicted wound in Los Angeles Tuesday. And we'll get into these a little later. Don't want to keep repeating things. And the sad thing, you guys, that he was planning to have another kid before taking his life. They were planning to have children, another child. Motel workers said he shot himself in the head, but no one heard the gunshot, describing the scene as pretty bad. Yeah, when she walked in, there was blood all over the place in the bathroom. Boss and his wife, Allison Hoker, celebrated their 9th wedding anniversary just 3 days before the tragedy. Posted a heartfelt video of them dancing online to mark the occasion. He left home on Monday without his car. See, he knew what he was going to do. He intentionally left that car on purpose. He already planned it before he left and had contemplated all the consequences of it and everything. And when he didn't return by Tuesday, his wife frantically ran into a local LAPD station to file a report. Manager of the Oak Tree Inn, Rakesh, said he went into his room and he never came out. That right there just gave me the chills, guys, when they said he went into his room and never came out. Oh my gosh, when I read that first, it took me out. It was so sad, because he knew he was going into that room and that was going to be his final resting place. That's what makes it so sad, is that all this was carefully thought out, carefully planned, and he was suffering so bad that he didn't even care who he left behind. At 11:15 on Tuesday, the maid opened the door to check on the room because he was supposed to check out. There was stuff in there, but no one there. She checked the bathroom, and there was the blood everywhere. She was very scared. This is the first time anything like that has ever happened. We called 911. They told us to check his pulse, but there was nothing. The paramedics and the police came and they said he was unalived. Maybe he did it during the day on Monday. I presume it was. I think he came there for a definite central purpose. That was his purpose. So when he got in that room, he was probably in a lot of pain, crying and thinking about all his worries. And that very same day, he went in that bathroom. He didn't sleep or anything. He went in that bathroom right when he got in there. Loud, because there's a loud road outside there, and it's possible nobody heard it because of that. It's a very loud, busy area, busy traffic area, so they wouldn't have heard it. It would have been muffled out by the sound of the traffic and the vehicles. And this is what's so tragic about these stories. A lot of the people that appear to be extremely happy are the ones that are battling the most severe depression. So if you see someone who's overly happy and overly positive and overly trying to show that they're happy, those are the people you need to really check on and care for and really ask what's really going on, because those are the people that are truly hurting deep inside. And you could just see by this smile, this man was trying to hide something. He was trying so hard to cover up his pain, but he really had many, many worries and many woes that he was hiding. And it became so much pressure on him to continue to hide it because he didn't feel he could be vulnerable with those around him. And this is all opinions, guys. I don't know what was going on with this man. I'm just giving opinions. DJ Stephen Twitch Boss passed away, 40 years old, from self-inflicted wound. And here is a sweet photo of him dancing with his wife just a couple days before it happened. I'm going to try to play it, but it has copyright music, so I'll have to take the music off.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be...
So look, they look so happy, but just to know deep down he was sad in this picture, and just to think he had all those worries on his mind while he was dancing. and thinking about what he was going to do. This was only just a couple of days. Let me see what exactly the day it was. Just a second. It was, he posted this 3 days ago, just 3 days ago. So sad. Hold on, guys. The article went away. Have to go back to the article. Poor soul. So here's a photo of him with his lovely wife, whom he was married to for 9 years. And as you guys are aware, they were such a beautiful couple. I mean, imagine marrying someone that you guys are both dancers and can choreograph dances together, and just how they met, on the show that they were on. It's just beautiful how they met, and seeing their different videos. Truly soulmates, meant for each other. Boss and his wife celebrate their 9th-year anniversary just days before the tragedy. Let's see if I'll get to the pictures later. There's probably going to be pictures everywhere. Boss called ahead at around 9:20 a.m. See, that's the thing that makes it more tragic, guys. You can tell that this sweet soul planned this whole thing out, because he meticulously chose the motel he was going to. He called at 9:20 a.m. in the morning on Monday to see if rooms were available. So he went there with a definite purpose in mind, which means he had been thinking and contemplating this for quite some time. So he checked into the hotel room around 9:20 a.m. on Monday to check to see if rooms were available. Then he walked the few blocks from his home and appeared completely normal and calm. And that's the thing. This is what makes these self-conclusions so sad and tragic, because a lot of people are wearing masks of happiness and appearing that everything's okay when it really isn't. Because society teaches us to hide our worries, hide our pain, hide our depression, because it is looked upon as being a stigma, or looked upon as being negative in our society. So people hide it. And that only makes it worse for these beautiful souls. Boss family members arrived on Wednesday morning to look after the grieving wife and children as his 6-bed Encino home, embracing his sobbing son, who ran out the house to greet him. That is sad. That is so sad, you guys. Children at his 6-bed Encino home. The man, he had a beautiful home, had everything. And the poor kid, the poor son, just sobbing and sad because he's not going to be with his dad. Had to greet family members, Twitch's family members, because he doesn't have a dad anymore. Dad that they adored. This is just tragic, guys. One told Daily Mail the family declined to comment. Boston Allen, a professional dancer, married in 2013, hosting Disney's fairy tale weddings together on Disney. That's so cool that they got to host that TV show together, or Disney's fairy tale weddings. He worked on Ellen's show from 2014 until it ended in 2022. See, I'm thinking, I feel something was pinned to that show ending too, guys. I really do. Of course, there's probably a lot of series of factors. There's always a lot of times multiple things, sometimes central things, but I really think there was something related to that Ellen show ending. He might have felt a sense of hopelessness, feeling like, what's next with his life, and never shared it with his wife. Who knows? The couple shared 3 kids together. Wesley, who's 14, I believe that's the child from the prior relationship, Allison's daughter. Maddox, 6, and Zaya, 3. Allison said in a statement to People, "It is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share my husband, Stefan, has left us." That is so sad. Oh my gosh. And the beautiful tribute she made to him on their anniversary was so precious. And to know, oh my gosh, he's gone. Here's their beautiful family. Look at these beautiful kids. I mean, the children now without their parents, without their father. the little boy and the little girl, and when you see them dancing so happy with their dad, and just, oh my gosh, guys, this is so sad. I'm more sad for those kids, if anything. Precious children. Fox is survived by his wife and his 3 children. This, you guys, is the picture of the hotel room. Workers told DailyMail.com that a maid discovered his body after performing a welfare check when he failed to leave the room on time. And this was the room, y'all. And it was in the bathroom where it happened. So sad, man. So sad. Oh. He left home on Monday without his car again. And so I can't imagine what his wife was thinking, because he left on Monday. So that means that whole night he wasn't home, y'all. He was not home. So she was probably worried, just didn't know what to do. Where was her husband at? And she just finally called on Tuesday to file the report, because she was like, he left his car. Poor woman. That's what makes me think, I don't think he shared with her what he had been battling with. He had been carrying this depression alone, and smiling and appearing to be this pillar of strength for that family, the backbone, which is a lot of times what men have to do, especially Black men too. Black men in our society, their tears are not acknowledged sometimes. And so they feel an extra weight of pressure to have this pillar of strength. And what if he felt it all slipping away, like he was losing control, maybe even financial issues, maybe even with the loss of this very lucrative career with the Ellen Show, and secret financial battles he may have been dealing with, and he didn't want to tell his wife, and it was all catching up with him to the point where eventually he has to disclose this information to her, that he doesn't have control over it. And maybe at that point, when he felt he had lost all control to the point where he would have to disclose this information to his wife, maybe he felt hopeless. But again, this is just all opinions and speculations. We'll never know why. So sad. There he is with his sweet, lovely wife. This was the home, the LA home, where he and his wife and beautiful 3 children resided. It's a beautiful house there. And here's a tribute that one of his friends left for him. Andy Layson said, "Rest my friend." Tributes have flooded in for the professional dancer after the news of his untimely death was confirmed by his wife. There's Ellen right there. He just was loved by so many people because he appeared to be this very happy man. That's the thing you got to be really worried about. When they're overly happy like this, they may be trying to overcompensate for something, trying to hide the pain, and they don't want people to know. So they put on this extra happiness, like, hey, I'm always happy, I'm in control. But reality, secretly, they're losing control. He competed on Dance Show So You Think You Can Dance in 2018, where he came runner-up, later returning as an all-star, and returned as a judge in 2022. His wife, Allison, said she would always save The Last Dance for her husband in a statement after his passing. And just look at this beautiful kids. Oh, the little precious boy. Oh my goodness. I feel so much pain for the children, because the children end up being the ones that hurt in the end, because they don't know why daddy left them, or why they feel like they're at fault, or what did they do something wrong, because they don't know why daddy left them, you know. Ellen has yet to comment on his passing, but the two were close after working on the show together for almost a decade. See, that's why my speculation is that it had something really to do with the loss of a very monumental career, a decade long, and it ends. And there had been some, issues surrounding the Ellen Show with Ellen. Everybody talks about that, with how she treated certain people. So the way it ended, and what if, he felt like a sense of hopelessness without, or lack of purpose, and it all came crashing down on him, or to the point where he probably was going to get to a point where he'd have to disclose certain financial struggles or whatever with his wife, and just didn't want to do it. But I wonder, almost a decade, that's pretty significant amount of time, Boss started as a DJ on the show after breaking into showbiz on MTV's The Wade Robson Project, before becoming a runner-up on A Star Search. Ellen posted a heartfelt tribute to the DJ, calling him family and saying that she was heartbroken by the incident. So I guess later on she finally did comment and say she was heartbroken. I feel so much pain for Ellen too, because she loved, you could see how, look how just passionate and they embrace each other. That was a deep heartfelt connection they had with one another. So I can't imagine what she feels in almost a decade with this person that has such a strong relationship. Really painful for her. Again, this is just a photo of where the incident tragedy occurred, where he walked to, the place he walked to. Just, I can't even imagine what was in this man's mind while he was walking, because at any moment he could have chose to walk away and change his mind. But I think this man had already been thinking about this for a long time and had it already planned out. So sad. That's what makes it even more sad when he was dancing with his wife and kids, because he already knew what he was going to do. That is evidence to show you that people who will smile and appear to be happy, you cannot just take that for face value, because you don't know what people are going through and battling with. Stefan lit up every room he stepped into. He valued family, friends, and community above all else. Leading with love, light was everything to him. He was the backbone of our family. Exactly. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? I told you he was the backbone. That puts a lot of pressure on someone, especially a man. In our society, you know, there's a lot of pressure on the man to be the support system, financially, spiritually, mentally, all of it. They are the backbone, the very foundation, the pivotal foundation of the household in a marital unit with children involved. That's a lot of pressure, especially when you feel as though you cannot show your sense of vulnerability or struggles to your spouse because you don't want to show any sense of weakness, because you don't want to compromise the security of that family unit. I really think he was hiding all of his struggles from his wife because he wanted to appear strong. And that put an extra weight on this beautiful soul. It puts a lot of weight on someone to have to hide all the worries and pains that you're battling because you don't want to appear weak in front of those that depend upon you to be the backbone of their family unit. She says he was the best husband and father and an inspiration to his fans. To say he left a legacy would be an understatement, and his positive impact will continue to be felt. I am certain there won't be a day that goes by that we won't honor his memory. We ask for privacy during this difficult time for myself and especially for our 3 children. Stefan, we love you, we miss you, and I will always save the last dance for you. That was from his beloved wife. His passing comes months after Ellen paid tribute to her ex-partner, Anne Heche, who died after crashing her car into a Los Angeles home with cocaine in her system. Woo! My goodness. Becoming trapped in a fiery blaze for 45 minutes before passing away in a hospital. My gosh, poor Ellen, guys. Ellen, y'all need to pray for Ellen, man. She experienced too much tragic loss. I mean, tragic loss. Wow, imagine I know it's an ex-partner, but I believe in the philosophy that once you love someone, you never stop loving them, even if you do break up and you're not in a relationship. I always believe that love lasts. It does. An LAPD spokesman confirmed to DailyMail.com that the incident was being handled by the Los Angeles County Coroner's Office, as there are no signs of foul play. So that means they obviously found the firearm in there. They checked for gunshot residue, all the different steps to find out. I wonder if he left a letter. Man, because if he didn't, those poor wife is going to live in so much questions for the rest of her life. And the poor kids too. Man, this is sad, guys. The couple celebrated their 9-year anniversary. Sometimes these articles are redundant, guys. Don't blame me. I'm just reading what it says. Here's a picture, like a still shot of the video they took only 3 days ago. And just to think this man was really depressed inside. Oh my God, it makes me so sad to see his videos now, because you really can see what was going on behind the smile. Pain behind the smile is probably the theme of this tragedy. Pain behind the smile. Twitch posted a video with his wife just 2 days ago before his passing. Oh, it was 2 days ago. Sorry, guys. There's another video he posted 3 days ago, too, on his Instagram, with the couple dancing in front of a Christmas tree. And it's so sad because Christmas is only in 2 weeks. It's something about the winter weather, guys, something about the winter holidays. When people have been battling with depression, it seems to magnify during those periods of time. So sad. Ugh. Just, you would think he had it all. This beautiful big house, wonderful family, gorgeous, wonderful wife. All of that doesn't mean anything when you don't have true happiness. And in my source of happiness, I can speak for myself as the Lord, and my rely and dependence on him, because I realize all the external things don't complete me in this world except for him. Paying tribute to her husband, Allison said in a statement to People, "It is with the heaviest of hearts that I have to share my husband has left us." Stefan lit up every room he stepped into. Stefan, we love you. We miss you. Former co-workers on The Ellen Show have left shocked by his sudden passing, explaining that he was a massive part of the team and he was a part of the family. Pretty much everybody loved him. One told the U.S. Sun, "No one can ever understand why someone would do this, but this is entirely out of character for him." Yes, because he wore a mask of happiness when he was hiding the pain behind the smile. That's the worst type of pain to ever be a part of, because this man appears as though he never wanted to appear vulnerable in front of anyone, because he didn't feel as though anyone would truly care. Because in our society, it's shunned upon to show that you're depressed or dealing with stuff, because after all, everybody's dealing with their own issues. So they're less prone to feel empathy for someone else who's dealing with something, because they're thinking, I have my own issues. So sad. I'm at a loss for words. We are all trying to process what has happened. And I don't know if you guys have watched the Ellen Show, but this was one of the photos they took when they were, Ellen was dancing with him. He competed on the So You Think You Can Dance in 2008, where he came runner-up, and he later returned as an all-star, and he returned as a judge. So he stayed pretty set on that show. So sad. Look at that happy family they appear to be. So sad. Seen for the last time in September publicly. Wow, that was several months ago, guys. The last time he was seen publicly was September. Oh my God. This is what I was telling you guys. Look, guys. Pay attention. Boss admitted to missing the Ellen Show, which he said made a mark on history. I'm telling you guys, this man, after that show ended, he felt a sense of hopelessness, worry, pain, not knowing what was going to be next in his future. He felt really depressed after that. Last time seen publicly, September. Admitted to missing the Ellen Show. Although there were probably a lot other factors going on, I do feel as though one of the factors related to the monumental ending of a very significant show in his life. It gave him purpose. It gave him a sense of meaning in this world when he was on the Ellen Show. And when it ended, it had a very severe impact on this man. And he didn't really realize the depression he had been dealing with until winter came along. All of a sudden, you have to be alone with those thoughts, and the cold weather, it all catches up with you. You start sitting down and you have to really face the facts of what your worries and concerns are. You're forced to address the pain that you've been bearing away during those busy seasons when you're out and about. This right here, missing the Ellen Show. Guys, I really think there's a connection with that, some type of correlation related to that. He added, life has been great, man. We have been having, honestly, a lot more time at home. Ooh. There's another one. There's another factor. A lot more time at home, which means a lot more time to be alone with your thoughts. When he had this career, this career that was over a decade long, he had a sense of purpose. He was always out and about, helping elevate this show that really meant a lot to him. You see how passionate he embraced Ellen with just love, like I haven't seen on a television show, I'd have to say. And then that huge part of his life ends. And now you have a lot more time at home. Yeah, kids are back at school. See, kids are back at school. So you don't have, when the kids are back at school, you're at home now. Life is beautiful, man. I don't know if I believe that. Kids are at school. You have a lot more time at home. You're missing the Ellen show. What do you think he was doing? He was at home, sitting there, thinking about all of his worries. What were the next steps in his life? What was the meaning of life from going on forward? I'm a 40-year-old man, have these kids I have to take care of, a wonderful wife, but what's next for me? Now, I did see an interview out there that he was going to be doing some show, I guess, for Save the Last Dance or something like that. I don't know if that was recent. That was on TMZ, guys. I don't know if that was a couple of years ago, if that was something that was going to come up in his life, but the Ellen show was a pretty significant monumental chunk of his life, almost a decade. And now it ended in such a monumental way, abrupt way too. My gosh. Look at the factors here, though. There's some factors here. You may think people may read this with just normal eyes and not see it. But there's some definitely clues here what this man was dealing with. Listen to this one, guys. Another factor. There will never be nothing like that show ever again. Another factor, guys. This man was given clues and nobody saw it. It definitely made its mark on history, and it was one of the greatest places to be in the afternoon. This man was depressed. He was depressed because of this monumental show that will never be a show like that again in this man's life. It made a mark of history in his life. It was one of the greatest places to be in the afternoon. He doesn't get to be in that place during the afternoons anymore. He's home. Kids are at school. There's no purpose for him, he feels. So he's at home alone with his thoughts. Look at these factors. Right here, clues you in. Missing the Ellen show. A lot more time home. Number 2, kids are back at school. So you have time to be alone with the thoughts of depression, reflecting on a show that gave you purpose and meaning in this world. And it's gone. It's taken away from you. You don't know what's next in your life. There will be nothing like that show ever again. Right there. He's literally telling you. He's literally telling you one of the sources of depression in this man's life. He literally felt as though he didn't have a sense of purpose going forward. What was next, he felt. This man was depressed for some time, and then when winter came along, he had to sit down and be alone with those thoughts. He couldn't just distract himself with things he was doing. Wow, this is sad. It definitely made its mark on history, and it was one of the greatest places to be in the afternoon. Look at that. It was one of the greatest places to be in the afternoon. Imagine how his afternoons are now without this monumental show that has made its mark on history. There will never be another show or experience like that in his life. And now, what is he doing with his afternoons? Nothing. Really no purpose, he feels. The couple also posted a video on their YouTube channel appearing happy. Again, there's a key word. This article knows what they're talking about. Appearing. Appearances aren't reality. They are not reality. And I think so many people get bogged down with smiles and happy posts online. Appearances aren't reality. So they had their YouTube channel appearing happy for a beginner's dance cardio workout 2 days before their death. This YouTube channel thing was not in comparison to the magnitude of the Ellen Show, which made its mark on history. This is what he said. When people say honestly, usually they're lying sometimes. I'm saying, really, why do you have to say honestly if you're telling the truth? I'm just saying. Life has been great, man. We have been having honestly, nope. That means what he really was trying to cover up is life hasn't been great for him. You don't have to say honestly when you're telling the truth. I think this man wanted to make it look like life has been great, but really he has been depressed since that Ellen Show ended. And even setting up this YouTube channel and all that, none of it really compared to the significance of that Ellen Show. Oh, it's so sad because I don't think he ever told his family either. He just wore this smile like everything was okay. That makes it even worse when you can't share it with anybody. In my opinion, guys, all just opinion. Boss started as a DJ on the show after breaking into showbiz on MTV's The Wade Robinson Project before becoming runner-up on The Star Show. And here was a video on his TikTok. Guys, I'm so scared to play it because I already know it's going to have copyright issues. I already know. I'm sorry, guys. I can't play it. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't play it, guys, because I already know. I already know it's going to have a song on there. Here's him again embracing Ellen. Just a monumental show. Oh, I can bet he was deeply distraught when the Ellen Show ended. His heart just was so much pain, caused him a lot of sadness. He cried. He was very depressed when that Ellen Show ended. He was very depressed. He didn't know what to do with his life after that. He later competed on a dance show, So You Think You Can Dance, in 2008, where he became runner-up. Why does keep repeating stuff? Guys, sorry, don't blame me. This is the article, keeps repeating the same stuff. Do not blame me. It's the article. The keen dancer posted a video of himself and his wife dancing in front of their Christmas tree. Ex-executive producer of The Ellen Show, Andy Lasser, paid tribute, and The Ellen Show was canceled earlier this year. Look at this. This is what it is, guys. I'm telling you, the Holy Spirit is telling me this is one of the central reasons for why this man was depressed. The Ellen Show ending. The Ellen Show was canceled early this year amid claims of bullying and toxic workplace, with the final episode airing May 26th. You guys remember all that stuff going on with the Ellen Show? And there was like a lot of claims that Ellen had been bullying her employees and all that stuff. And it ended because of that, because of all those different issues, May 26th. That deeply hurt, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that deeply affected Twitch. This man was deeply distraught when the Ellen Show, he was so depressed. I bet he probably dealt with a lot of depression too during all of that debacle when they were investigating the claims of bullying and all that stuff. In the toxic workplace, he had been dealing with a lot of pressure that time too. And then when it ended, it sent him off on a deep depression. He was very distraught when that show ended. Oh my God, the poor man was so depressed. Boss spoke about the criticism of the work culture at the Ellen Show, defending her until the very end of the show. See that, guys? I really think there is some type of connection, correlation with this. I really feel that in the spirit. I feel it. I feel it, man. I feel it. Because this show didn't just end, remember, it didn't just end because it was like a graceful ending. No, it ended because there was so much different allegations of work toxicity, and Ellen was being investigated and all that stuff. And it ended because of all of that debacle, and he was very depressed behind that. I don't think he ever got over that. Poor Twitch never got over that. He was so depressed and heartbroken and didn't feel like he had a sense of purpose after that. And then somebody very close to him defended her until the very end of the show. He told US Weekly, "We can't speak too much legally about it, but I'll say this, there's been love. Obviously, there's been some things to address, but from my standpoint, from countless others, there's been love. I'll just leave it at that until there's time where we can address more publicly. There's been love and there will continue to be love." So probably some legal issues. Maybe you guys can share in the chat. I'm not sure if he was a part of any lawsuits with Ellen involved or all them against, but I don't know about that part. They have a YouTube channel. Let's see if I'll play this, guys, but I don't know because it might have music. They always got music on their stuff. Ugh.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Boss.
Hey, let's know what's going on. I am Twitch.
And I'm Allison.
And we are so excited that you are here. We're excited to be moving with y'all. What you tuned into is basically like a follow-along cardio groove session. We're going to have a really good time. But guess what? No prior dance experience is needed. Just a will to have fun, move, and have a good time. Let's get it.
Let's
Boom.
go.
All right, here we go. Let's go. I love everything about it. We're getting right into this next song.
Here we go.
Sorry, guys, I have to mute it because it already has that copyright music. So unfortunately, can't play it because of the copyright songs. But you see, they were doing like this type of stuff on their YouTube to like do dance workouts. But this was not enough for Twitch, guys. This was not it. This was not it. It was like somebody stripped this man's purpose from him when that Ellen show ended. He may have been doing a little YouTube thing, but he felt a sense of just lack of purpose for his life. Like it was taken from him prematurely out of all these conspiracies and having to defend Ellen and all the different things going on with that. And then him losing that opportunity of a lifetime. He talked about how historic it was in his life and how there'll never be another show like it. He was talking about for himself. For himself. Poor Twitch, man. Poor Twitch, guys. So sad. And that bond, that strong bond that he shared with Ellen was just incomprehensible. Very sad, man. This is sad because nobody really knows what the pain this man went through when it ended, man. When that show ended, oh, poor Twitch fell into a deep depression. He felt hopeless. He felt like everything was taken from him, and he had no control over it. That's a painful position to be in when you don't have control. And again, guys, I'm going to give a disclaimer. This is just my opinion. None of us know what was going on with him, but I'm just speaking from what my intuition is telling me. In 2020, at least 10 former and then current employees of The Ellen Show claimed they had faced bullying, racism behind the scenes at the long-running talk show. You guys already remember this whole debacle that was going on. It's all over the media, everywhere. But Twitch had to deal with that stuff too, because he had to defend her and who knows what other things he had been going through, what he had been going through behind closed doors with this whole Ellen Show thing. That really meant a lot to this man. He got some of the biggest breaks of opportunity at the Ellen Show, you guys. Biggest opportunities. There was times he would take her place and be the host for the day. I mean, he got really great opportunities. The DJ on the show, all of that. Some of his greatest skills were recognized on that show, and it was ripped away from this man, and he was so depressed behind that. Oh my gosh, so depressed. Poor man. And went into a shell back in September, and that was the last time he was seen out publicly, in my opinion. The show, which ran from 2003 to 2022, that is significant, guys. Look how long the show lasted. Built a brand around the compassionate slogan, "Be kind," often touted by the show's namesake. Staffers who had firsthand knowledge of the day-to-day goings on of production, however, said that the charitable endeavors and sloganeering were all for show. We got to start building normalities that we don't just look at things for how they seem to be on the outside. That's an easy way to fall prey to deception. This man hid his pain behind a smile. A deeply, 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 deeply wounded man. Employees leveled much of the blame against the show's executive producers. Oh my gosh, I feel so sad for him. Just imagine him walking that 15-minute walk, thinking about his worries, his lack of purpose, all-consuming thoughts, the pain that he had been hiding regarding this end, this monumental end of the Ellen Show and all the other things. Who knows what other things he was dealing with, but I really think that ending of the Ellen Show had a connection to this, guys. Man, it seems that these self-conclusions, you can pinpoint some different things in their life. But my spirit is telling me that this man was deeply, deeply depressed and broken inside when that Ellen Show ended. And he cried a lot in deep pain. I don't feel he really shared. He shared a little bit, but not as much with his wife. He just wore that smile around her too. I don't think she didn't know how deep it affected him. He may have shared that, "Oh, I'm sad that the show ended," and stuff like that with her, but she didn't know that he was really deeply depressed behind it, which makes it more painful for her, because how could you help somebody when you don't know what they're going through? Employees leveled much of the blame against the show's executive producers, but claimed Ellen herself had not been involved enough to see what was happening on her own show. Months after the first claim surfaced, Ellen gave an interview in which she said the attacks on her did feel very misogynistic. It was devastating. "I'm a kind person. I'm a person who likes to make people happy," she said, adding that she understood how people, even fans of hers, might come to believe that the allegations about her personal behavior were true. Guys, if you guys have been following me since the beginning of January, we talked about this, that this was going to be a very depressing year for our country, and that there would be a lot of these. And man, oh man, I was praying it wasn't going to be true, but it's been so many of them, more than I've seen in many years before. We need to pray for the individuals in our country. A lot of people also have been dealing with depression dating back to COVID, and then the depression becomes all consuming and they end their life. They've been ending their life in this year. This year has been a very, very severe year, very sad year for a lot of souls. But I think this gentleman really, really was depressed and broken. Oh my goodness, regarding when one of the most greatest opportunities he's had in his life. I mean, he's had the other opportunities, with So You Think You Can Dance. That didn't have any real impact on him like the Ellen Show did in his life. It was like a family to him to be on the Ellen Show. That was his family, and it was taken from him prematurely too, because of all of the different issues surrounding that, and the conspiracies and the hostile work environment allegations. And I wish he would have got help. I wish he would have got help and not buried himself away alone with his worries and his stress and his pain. If you or loved one needs help, call the National Prevention Hotline at 1-800-273-8255. And I want to just share some stuff on his Instagram and on his wife's Instagram, because I thought these were pretty monumental things on his page. So here was one of the things that he did. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if you guys can hear me. Hello, hello. Okay, there it is. Here was one of the posts he did. This was just 3 days ago, him dancing with his wife. And sorry, guys, I can't play the music because of copyright. But just appearing happy, he felt so empty inside. Poor Twitch. And you could tell he started to feel even more sad, because even look, he really stopped putting captions on his stuff. Or if he did, they were very short and to the point. They weren't as wordy as they used to be. I'll show you some. Like, for example, here for his wedding anniversary, all he puts is "Happy anniversary, my love." I'll show you Allison's. Allison gives a very heartfelt, deep emotional contribution to the anniversary. His are just very to the point, because he at this point was already feeling depressed. This was 4 days ago. He already had this thing planned out, guys. Poor soul. Oh my gosh, poor man. This was 5 days ago, shouting the biggest happy birthday to my grandfather, Dada. I love you. IG fam, help me wish him happy birthday. See, you could be depressed even though you have people in your life who you love, who support you. But notice here, he's very, very long. He gives a long, more detailed. But as the days progress, his words become less and less and few. This was 6 days ago. He gives us a detailed description here. Our favorite part about the holiday season is the feeling of togetherness. We love that by gifting DSG, we're gifting others the fits they need to participate in activities that bring friends and family together, from holiday traditions with the kids to date nights. Everything is between DSG, a gift everyone for your list. This wasn't it for him. All this advertisement stuff, the YouTube stuff, it didn't compare to the Ellen show. This man was wondering, what purpose do I have? December 4th. Again, you can look how wordy not wordy, but I'm saying you can see detailed descriptions here. Detailed descriptions. Moving around a little like Friday night. Really talented dancer. Doing his little choreography. But see, look, at home. His afternoons used to be filled with hope and purpose and wonder on the Ellen show. So much potential was used. He was used to his maximum at the Ellen show, and he was embraced for who he was. Now, all of that taken away. Been there for almost a decade. All of that taken away. Now his afternoons are filled with just at home, sitting around. He was feeling purposeless. He felt he had no purpose. What was next for him? People could appear to be happy, but not really happy. Sorry, guys. I wish I could play the music for you, but unfortunately, copyright. This was really cute. I like this one, guys, right here. Oh, I think I already showed you guys this one. Let me show you the one on Allison's, because I'm going to show you the difference. Notice the difference in the anniversary. Here, he just has, all he says is happy anniversary, my love. Like nothing about reflecting on the relationship or what they've been through and what he embraces and all the greatness. Nope. Plain and simple to the point. Look at Allison's though. Let's take a look at Allison's dedication. Very detailed. It's our anniversary. I couldn't be more grateful to celebrate this perfect, magical day. Saying yes to Sir Twitch-a-Lot has been one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. I feel so blessed and loved. I love you, baby, and I will never take you or our family for granted. I love you. Look how detailed and just full of emotions and reflecting on how grateful she is and thinking about the past memories. Twitch is so bogged down with all his depression, he can't even think about any of that or any memories or the past. It's just like, happy anniversary, babe. That's it. That is so sad, guys. My gosh. My gosh. Oh, so sad. I think this is the one I like. Yeah, I want to show you guys this one. This one is adorable. Now I can have my family dance parties they're doing like advertisements. But think, this man had this wonderful, monumental impact on the Ellen Show, and now he's just reduced to YouTube and doing all these different advertisements on YouTube, on social media now. That's it. What's next? That's what he's thinking. What's next? This was the most monumental show of his life. There will never be another show. That's what his words were. There'll never be another show like it. He was basically saying there'll never be anything as monumental like that in my life again. What's next for me? It's so sad. Look at these poor kids. So sad. This was like one of my favorite posts of him, guys. Heart is so broke. Sorry if I had to just digest that pain right now. Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Sorry, guys. What do you guys have to say about this tragedy? Did you guys hear about this? Hi, Purple Love. Oh my goodness. It's so wonderful to see you in the chat, sweetie. So great to see you. She says, I think part of the reason why people are more depressed now is for two things, the economy and today's pop culture. Girl, definitely. Definitely the economy. Yes. I do think there was a financial aspect to this. 2, please don't keep things buried inside. Yes, talk to someone and let them know how you feel. Definitely. Your life is significant and important regardless of what you're going through. God created you for a purpose. That is so true. Thank you, Speak Vision, for speaking that hope to our viewers right now. She is so right. Please don't bury your hurt inside anymore, guys. Please. Your life matters and it's significant. And you have purpose. The enemy wants to lie to you and make you think that your life doesn't matter. And I know there's a lot of worries that are going on. I know, yes, Purple Love has been with me since Chesley Chris. And you know, we talked about this, Purple Love, that this year was going to be a very dark year. And man, oh man, I was praying to God it wasn't going to be true. And it was true. Unfortunately, very sad. A lot of people, they see someone else do it and gives them the, oh gosh, guys, it gives them the motivation to do it. And it's so sad. And when you see the celebrities do it, then there's other people that see that. And instead of, maybe going to a counselor or getting help, they just do copycats. They're like, oh, look, this famous person did it. I'm going to go do it now. It's like so sad. Oh, Jesus is Lord. Anybody I love, I see right through them, and we would just have to go through it until I know. I've been through depression, and only God can take you out of it. I can agree with access denied. On my channel, I'm always straightforward and honest. And what I can tell you is when I've dealt with any form of depression, The only person that got me out of it was God, and my relationship with him, and praying and leaning upon him and crying out to him is what got me out of those nights of depression and hopelessness. A lot of us try to channel our happiness and associate it with accolades or family or love or achievements or jobs or money. And that's why a lot of us fall into depression, because we think happiness is related to external things or external achievements, and it never will make you happy. It never will, because once it's taken away from you, what else do you have left? Nothing. Nothing. Access and I said, I wish you would have held on to God, because when one door closes, another opens. He will never know. He was with his thoughts. Yeah, he was alone with his thoughts. This is why the Bible says to cast out imaginations. Yes. Oh, access denied is preaching today, you guys. Okay, let me see. Somebody's giving me some details. I was trying to get some details from people in the chat. Hi, Ethril. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. He says his birthday was 9/29. Okay, his birthday was 9/29. He just had a birthday a couple months ago, too. That is monumental. A lot of these self-conclusions, I'm noticing people have birthdays that have passed, or they'll do it before the birthday happens. And something about that, when their birthday happens, or if it's going to approach, they start really examining and doing self-examinations of their life and trying to figure out what their future holds. And they start thinking, different thoughts. For example, in this case, he might have thought, when he reached a monumental age, you guys, he went from 39 into 40s, and he lost a very monumental career. That was something that meant a lot to this man. It was how he spent his afternoons, and that was stripped from him. He said there will never be another show like it, meaning there will never be anything as significant of that impact. It deeply broke this man when the Ellen Show stopped. When the Ellen Show closed, it broke him down. Yeah, it broke him down tremendously, guys. And when he lost it, he did go through an identity crisis. And he reached a monumental birthday, like Ethril said. I thank you for sharing that. He reached a monumental age when he turned 40, because he really had to think about his life and where he was in life. And he didn't know what his future held. He's 40. He just reached 40. He lost a very significant career. Something was very central and monumental to him. And he did reach an identity crisis. I really do believe in my spirit. He reached an identity crisis. He went through an identity crisis, and he felt a sense of hopelessness and extreme depression, because at age 40, he did not know what was next for his life. And he felt like everything that meant so much to him was stripped from him. And yet he had to appear to be this pillar of strength to hold up the foundation of his family. And he couldn't share these vulnerabilities with the people he loved, because if he did, it would show a sense of weakness in him. And he had to be that backbone. And the wife said it in her statement that he was the backbone, confirming what I was saying. He felt that too. And when you have that weight, that extreme weight of pressure to be the backbone of your family, you don't want to show a sign of weakness or vulnerability to the people that depend upon you. And like Tracy says, unfortunately, that's how a lot of people feel when they lose their job or career. They go through an identity crisis. And I couldn't have said it any better. That's true. That is true. And especially a career to this magnitude. The way he described it was what really clued me in. I'm like, okay, this is what's going on with this man, in my opinion. It's so sad because of how he cherished the Ellen Show. And it wasn't like it ended on good terms. It didn't end on good terms. It ended on very devastating terms, you guys. It was just all kinds of allegations of hostile work environment and legalities and all these horrible things that caused it to end because of that. So yes, it did cause an identity crisis and deep depression for him. And there was added pressure on him because now he was turning 40 years old in monumental age, and he had faced a significant amount of loss. This man was depressed for a long time and had finally made his decision that week. Probably had been thinking about it for quite some time, planned it out. When he figured out how he was going to do it, that's what he did. The sad part I think about is him walking that 15-minute walk, because at any point he could have decided to go back, but I think it was too late. By then he had already thought about it and solidified it in his mind. He didn't know where to go after age 40 and losing that monumental job, in my opinion. Trissy says, since he's a dancer, why didn't he book other gigs like dance and music videos or create dancing class? That's a good question. We don't know. What if he did try? What if doors were closed on him? What if he tried and he didn't get those opportunities and faced failure after failure after failure, loss after loss after loss, rejection after rejection after rejection? You have to think he was associated with Ellen, and Ellen had all these, that career had all these accusations that there was hostile work environment there. And because he was linked to that show, who knows if maybe people didn't want to really, give him opportunities. They're probably like, oh, I don't want him on my show or on my, you know what I mean? And even then, you have to look at the words he uses. He elevated the Ellen show, and he said there would never be another show like that. So in my mind, in my opinion, I'm thinking, even if he were to get a dancing class or something like that, it would never be comparable to the Ellen show. So he would always feel in his mind, and I'm just speaking from what I think he would feel, guys, just an opinion. He would feel in his mind like he's a failure. You know what I mean? Because he put the Ellen show up on a pedestal the way he described it in his own words. When you say there'll never be another show like that, that means what else can supersede that if he says something like that? You know what I mean? Like if he got another dancing opportunity, he'd still feel like it doesn't compare to the Ellen show and feel defeated. Okay, Nicole says, most definitely. This is what happens when we base our self-worth and sense of purpose on our jobs, careers. Very sad. Oh, yes, guys, it's true. It increases around the holiday season. So really you have to be prayed up. It's one of the most vulnerable times. Yeah, even the Bible says it is better to live on the edge of the roof of your house than live with a quarrelsome wife. We don't know if she was quarrelsome. We don't have anything about that. We don't know what she was doing. But somebody's saying something? Someone said, you're talking about the wife, right? I'm going to see what you guys are saying. Yeah, YouTube is strict with copyright. Does somebody have details about the wife that I don't know about? I'm going to look into the chat because I saw somebody referencing the wife. I didn't hear anything about her causing any problems. Yeah, medicine does wonders for depression. Okay, I don't see anything in here about the wife. I didn't hear anything about her. Yeah, they had it all. All right, thanks, guys. Let me see. Yeah, right here, Purple Love says, especially men, they are taught to not express their emotions. Right, they are. Men are taught to suppress their emotions. They're supposed to appear to be strong. They can't show any form of vulnerability. And it's very sad in this society because that is breeding ground for depression. And it's a breeding ground for men to feel so much pressure on them that they end up doing these type of sad tragedies. Guys, this is so sad. We got to change the way we got to change that. We got to stop doing that to our men. We got to allow them to feel vulnerable and to be safe. And not to strip them of their manhood because they're having a rough day or they're feeling depressed and they just need someone to talk to if they need to just cry. Because bottling all that up inside is breeding ground for these type of tragedies. Because they just feel like they harbor it so much inside that there's nowhere to release it. And you have to be able to have an outlet. You need to be able to have someone that cares to listen. You need to be able to go to those therapy sessions. You need those moments to feel vulnerable and open with the pain that you're dealing with. And men don't have that. They don't get those opportunities. So I think it's a wonderful discussion to change that in our society, you know, to stop always putting the pressure on men to you know, reject them or something, or make them feel less than because they're feeling vulnerable, or they're feeling pain, or they're feeling, oh gosh, depression. Hi, Reality Trust. How are you doing? Reality Trust says, I think if you so called it all and still depressed, that makes it even worse. Yeah. Nice to see you in the chat, Reality Chess. Hi, Cha Cha. Nice to see you in the chat. She says, have mercy on his family, dear Lord. May an angel lift them up beyond grief. I know, I pray that too. I pray that too, guys. I pray that the Lord just help these, especially those little kids, you guys, those little kids. Yeah, 2022 has been a terrible. Oh, Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Ellen and Purple Love, they know. They go way back to Chesley Chris. We talked about this earlier this year. Oh, yes, yes. He hit 40. Yep, monumental age. Remember we talked about age with Chesley Chris, Purple Love? And then it was a birthday correlation with, well, is her name King? Purple Love. What is the name of the Regina King? Remember Regina King's son? He had a birthday right after that. His happened. Just telling you, there's some correlations there. Access Denied says, Steve Harvey says, a man feels he is only what he does. Right. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for sharing your input, because all these different experiences in the chat can really help us analyze this tragedy. Steve Harvey, he's right. A man does feel his identity is embedded in his career, and this career was stripped away from him on very bad terms because of all of the allegations regarding work hostility and all the different things that, you know, the things that they were saying. And his career was ripped away from him because of these allegations. And he felt he didn't have an identity. You know, he tried to do the YouTube thing and other things, but it didn't compare. They took away this man's livelihood, this man's identity. They took away his identity. That's how he felt. This man went into a deep depression after the Ellen show ended. That's what I feel. Meaning whatever a man does every day, then that is who he is, right? So if a man has nothing, then he is nothing, right? Oh my God, you guys in the chat are incredible to really help analyze these, because this is how we really get breakthrough. And we use these tragedies, as Purple Love and Ellen, they'll tell you, we talk about these tragedies in deep detail, because we use it as a teaching tool to help people battling with mental health. Because if we talk about it and we have an opportunity to talk about it, it can possibly breed healing to those who may be dealing with the same thing, to let them know it's okay. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay, because your life matters. Because a lot of people don't understand that about my platform, that I talk about these. And so new subscribers come in and they're like, why are you analyzing someone taking their life? Well, it's imperative, because a lot of people are dealing with depression and they don't have an outlet. They don't have a place they can go. They don't have a safe place that they can talk about these things. And that's why it's important that I use my channel to talk about this. Because the hope is that we can save a life or two or three or four or five if they come across this video. I'm sorry I had to explain that, but there's just some people that don't understand why I spend a lot of time on these type of tragedies, because this is one of the areas of ministry that I really am passionate about. Purple Love knows, Ellen knows. Those are my day ones on this channel, so they understand where I'm coming from. But this right here, Access Denied, is really sharing a lot of wisdom. And he's right, or she's right. Access Denied, tell me what your gender is, because I be messing up in the chat, y'all. I've just messed up. I don't know whose gender is what. Steve Harvey said, a man feels he is only what he does. That's true. A lot of men identify with their career, with how much money they make, with what accolades or what, you know, accessories they have, property, all that stuff. That's what their identity is. Imagine that being taken away from a man. And he is the provider of his family. And now he's just He's had this same career, this same monumental career, because this man was literally put on a pedestal at that Ellen show. Not only was he the DJ, but there was times he would take over in the show for Ellen. You know, they really loved him on that show. And then now it was taken away from him. And now he has to try to figure out what's next. And all he has is doing this YouTube thing. And that's not really anything. I mean, compared to the Ellen show. And then not only that, but all he's doing is doing all these little advertisements on Instagram and social media. No, that wasn't enough for him. His identity, he felt, was taken from him. He felt hopeless. He felt a sense of lack of purpose. And then now this monumental age comes at age 40. And now he looks back on his life and he's like, where am I in life? I lost everything that I identified with. It's gone. And I'm 40 years old. What's next for me? So access denied hit it on the nail, meaning whatever a man does every day, then it is who he is. Yeah, that's what he did every day for almost a decade, y'all. That's a long chunk of his life. And then when he reaches a monumental age, bridging the gap from 30 now into 40, he's got a whole lot of other years left. And it's like he put the Ellen show on this pedestal, saying there was no other show like it ever in history. Like, if someone puts something like that, a career on a pedestal like that, what else can compare to that? Not appearing in a music video or doing a dance class or doing a YouTube show or advertising these different products on Instagram or social media is going to compare to this monumental career he had on the Ellen show that ended in a very drastic, horrific, very negative way, with all these legalities involved and the lawsuits and all this stuff regarding the hostile work environment. It's a breeding ground for depression. Poor man. Poor man. Oh, gosh. Oh, I feel his pain, man. The Bible says to not put your treasures in things of this world because everything is passing away. Remember, when one door closes, have faith that God will open something else better for you. Amen. Amen. Yes. Hi, Shana. How are you? Oh my God, I thought his wife said he was fine. Yeah, because he hid his pain from her. He wore a smile on his face, but he was really in deep pain because he didn't want to appear to be vulnerable in front of her. He was the backbone of that family. And so showing her a sense of weakness in his mind or vulnerability would shake the foundation of that household. And he didn't want to do that. So he carried around this smile on his face like everything was okay. All the while, deep down inside, he was harboring a long period of time of different months since May, when that Ellen show ended, of just feeling a sense of hopelessness, lack of purpose, not knowing what was next in his life, reaching a monumental age in his life and not knowing what was left for his future. That's what I feel, in my opinion, my humble opinion. And if you don't have your life and thoughts on God, then everything else in your life is an idol. That's true. We idolize so many different things and none of it will make you happy. You can see it. You can see it from the different stories that I talk about on this page. I've done a lot of the stories about this, self-conclusions. And if you go through those different ones, you'll see that different people coveted external things. Some people coveted their career or their education or beauty and age and fame. Some people was dealing with family issues, divorce, just different things. A lot of things, or careers. One of the last two self-conclusions, in my opinion, have been related to careers. One man, from the last time we talked about, he was a principal and he was going to lose his career because his wife allegedly, we don't know if this is true or not, he just alleged in his goodbye letter that she had falsely accused him of child endangerment and battery. And he said that that was going to strip him of his career. And he didn't want to lose his identity, which was linked to his career. I feel this is kind of the same thing with this tragedy, that when the Ellen show ended, it was truly a devastating blow to his happiness and his sense of purpose in life and his hopefulness in life. And he tried to figure out what he was going to do with his life for a couple months. And when he reached 40, he started to realize this sense of lack of purpose of what was next in his life. He was missing the Ellen show. He talked about it. He admitted to it, explicitly stating that he had missed the Ellen show and that there was never be anything like that show, and how he would be at home now. He said he had to spend a lot more time at home. Think about that. Spending a lot more time at home means you have to spend a lot more time thinking about all that you lost. You're alone with your thoughts now. You have to face the realities of what's going on in your life, losing a monumental career, and then having to deal with this pain alone. He talked about how his kids were in school. So again, that leaves more time in isolation. Because when the kids are there, they keep you distracted. You know, you're focused on helping your kids with their studies, or getting them ready for school, or playing with them, or cooking. But when they're at school, you're alone with those thoughts of hopelessness, and you're wondering, what is next in my life? And then the man has all this pressure of having to care for the family, and he has to be the backbone, like his wife mentioned him to be, and the very strong foundation in that family's life. So imagine all of the pressure placed upon this man, and he doesn't feel like he has an outlet, like he could share his pain and vulnerabilities with anyone. And it's even worse when you don't have God that you can cling to and lean upon and ask for help in those very trying, painful nights and moments. You have no one, period. And he wasn't going to counseling, allegedly, because there's nothing about him going to counseling. He probably felt like counseling was linked to this sense of weakness. Especially a lot in the Black community, we don't really like going to counseling or therapy. So that's like a cultural thing too. A lot of us don't want to go to counseling. We don't want people in our business like that, which is not good. We need to change that about our culture, because we're seeing a lot of us now, especially in this year, end our life because of the depression we're trying to deal with on our own. You can't do it on your own. That's breeding ground for the enemy to come in and to torture you with those thoughts of hopelessness, and to bog you down with so much pain in your mind. And when you're alone with those thoughts, it can be all consuming to you, to the point where it's so all consuming that you think about nothing else but the pain and the depression. Oh, Ethero, he says he has a thing about numbers. I don't really know about the number thing. Let me see what you say. So knowing his birthday struck me, being 9/29, 9/2 plus 9, 11/9, 11/9 is symbolic for completion. 11 symbolic of one's path to the gates. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. See, y'all getting deep in this chat. I didn't know nothing about the numbers. Yeah, he was very talented. Hi, Darlene. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us. So happy to see you. Darlene says he was very talented before Ellen choreography, TV producer. I see some jealous. DJ, I see some jealous. Yeah, he was talented, but he felt like he got his huge break when he got on the Ellen show. He did have all the other successes before, but the way he described the Ellen show, it was as if he elevated that career above all his other prior experiences. I mean, he said it from his own words in the article. I'm getting it from his words. So it appears as though he felt like this Ellen show had a very grandiose impact on this man's life, and he didn't know. And when that was stripped away from him, after being a part of this career for over a decade, and it was stripped from him, he felt he lost a sense of purpose. Oh, hi, Ellen. I got to hear from my girl. Hi, Ellen. Love you, girl. I'm so happy to see you. You blessed my soul to see you in the chat. Let's see what she has to say. She be giving us all the details and the wisdom. She said, I automatically thought as a dancer, pandemic could really mess with you. Not being able to go to class, to being less of that can make you depressed. Dance is such a stress reliever. I don't know. I'm a dancer. That's one thing I haven't told about you. I'm a dancer, and I've been dancing since I was a little girl. Did jazz, ballet, hip hop. I do competitive dance companies. And during COVID, I wasn't able to perform with the dance company I was on, but I channeled it other places. I danced with exercise dance groups outside. We went outside and we formulated a dance group. There was a ways around it. There's a ways around it. I worked around it. You can dance outside with your dance groups. When the gyms opened up again, I still went back to those classes. So I worked around it. There's ways to work around it. It looks like he did dance too. Based upon his social media, he danced a lot and choreographed dances with his wife on his Instagram and his kids. So it looks like he also had a YouTube, and him and his wife would choreograph these dance routines on their YouTube for their viewers to learn the choreography with them. So it looks like that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to find ways around it to, through choreographing at home or on his YouTube, but I still don't feel it was enough. I feel like he felt like there was a sense of emptiness when that's what I feel. I feel like he felt a sense of emptiness because he kept reflecting back on the Ellen show, saying how much he missed it and that there would never be anything like it. So in my opinion, it feels like that really was a huge blow to his happiness when it ended on such bad terms too, guys. I mean, the Ellen show didn't just end like, our normal retirement of a show. It ended because of a lot of just allegations of just hostility on the job and all, you guys know all the horrible things that was said about the Ellen show. It was all over the news. Wow, guys, it's sad. I don't think it was the wife's fault. I think he probably put the pressure on himself. And controversy with Ellen maybe makes it so less dance. Also, I know for me, I've seen depressed because of no dance. Oh, really, Ellen? Do you dance too? Yeah, because I think it's the controversy with the Ellen show, like you're saying, because he was dancing a lot on his Instagram. I've seen his Instagram. I looked at a couple of his posts, and they were choreographing dances a lot, and on their YouTube too. I'm gonna figure out what is his YouTube channel, because they just choreographed a dance on their YouTube channel a couple days ago before this happened. That they choreographed an exercise dance routine. So he was trying to find ways to dance. He would post a lot of his dance routines on his Instagram, and they were really trying to build that YouTube channel. I don't think that was it for him. I mean, imagine going from being on the Ellen show, you guys, a very monumental show, to now you just have to do stuff on Instagram and on YouTube. That was a huge demotion in his mind. And now he's 40 years old, and he's like, what's next? Yes, I agree with Purple Love on this. She said mental health, and I have to say self-conclusion on YouTube. Sorry, guys. I say self-conclusion because YouTube doesn't let us use this word. Mental health and self-conclusion needs more awareness. It does. That's why I do these videos. Every time there's a self-conclusion, I need you guys to let me know about it, because I do them for that reason. We need more awareness, and we need open platforms to talk more about it, because it's often a stigma in our community. When people talk about the depression they're going through, a lot of people don't want to listen, or they close their ears to it, or they they have all their own personal life struggles. So they're like, well, why do I need to listen to you when I have all my own issues? And so the people end up feeling rejected. And so then they go into this sense of depression, and they close themselves off to the world, because the world rejected them when they tried to be vulnerable, when they tried to open up. They were rejected over and over again. Or it's just the whole portrayal of our society as it is in general that rejects people who are dealing with depression. And so because that's what's taught in our society, then they just automatically hold it within themselves. And especially in the Black community in particular, a lot of individuals in the Black community don't want to go to counseling or see a therapist. And that's very concerning, because we can see the drastic effect it's having on the Black community. There has been a lot of self-conclusions in the Black community alone, I would just say, this year. this year alone. And a lot of them don't go to therapy. There's my lovely Ellen again. I love you, Ellen girl. She said yes to abruptly stop dancing more than identity. I had to abruptly stop dancing because of accident and not having the endorphins and stress relief, strength, depressing. Pandemic can't do class. Oh no. Oh no, that can cause depression, and it caused a lot of depression during the pandemic, Ellen. Definitely. A lot of people were stuck in the house. They couldn't do things they love to do. And if you love to dance and you can't dance anymore, yes, that could breed depression. Most definitely. Oh gosh, this is sad, guys. He doesn't know what his self-worth is. That's sad. I don't know about that, Crystal. I think he put his self-worth in his career. That's what I think. I think he put his self-worth in his career, and when his career was now taken from him in such a dramatic way, in very bad terms, because of, all the allegations surrounding the Ellen show, then he felt like his self-worth was stripped from him, basically. So yeah, I think he associated his self-worth in the wrong thing, which was his career, and like access denied. Okay, Access is a female. Hi, love. Sorry, Access. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for letting me know. But like Access denied was saying, a lot of men, like Steve Harvey was saying, a lot of men associate their identity with their career. And then if that career is stripped from them, it's like their self-worth has been stripped from them also. And he really didn't feel like he had a sense of purpose left. He was like, what's next in my life? The very career that really set my identity, my purpose, my status in society was literally ripped from me in the most dramatic, horrible way. And the whole country and the world had to see, because of all the allegations that were said against this particular show, as it relates to, the Ellen and the hostility that people said about it. Just imagine. Etheril says, I tell all women to stop putting too much pressure on men, even boys, to protect, provide, and play roles that don't belong to them. It leads to depression, drugs, DOJ, and death. That is true. That is true. I hear of a lot of men. That is true what Ethereal's saying, because I hear of a lot of men when they talk about stuff like this, a lot of them go into crimes and commit crimes because they feel pressured to provide for their family. For example, if they don't have money or a job, then they'll go out and commit crimes to get the money to provide for the family, because there's so much pressure on them to be a provider that they'll do any means. They will go and do any means to provide for that family, even if it's illegal conduct. Access Denied says, I'm a female currently in school for a human service degree, and my passion is to help others out of the pit. I do plan on going to Christian therapy because you can do nothing without God. Amen. Amen. And congratulations on your education. I know Ellen's another one of my educated ladies in the chat. How is your education studies going, Ellen, also? Because I know that you are studying. Yep, we got a couple of educated people in the chat, so that's wonderful to get that aspect. People have to start checking on the strong ones. Smiles and laughter are often in disguise. Very true. Hollywood needs mental health therapists. That is true, Nicole, to help celebrities transition to a normal life. This is so true. A lot of our celebrities deal with significant amount of depression, and they think of a lot of self-conclusion thoughts, guys. A lot of them do. And one of the people I need you guys to pray for right now is Meg Thee Stallion, because she's been saying some disturbing things. And one of the disturbing things she said, which had me on alarm, is when she said in her testimony yesterday that she wished that Tory had basically unalived her. When I heard that, that sounds like somebody who's dealing with depression and self-conclusion thoughts, and it worries me. So I need y'all to be praying for her, please, because I'm worried about her in particular. But a lot of celebrities, guys, they deal with a lot of depression, severe depression. That's why they end up taking a lot of drugs and stuff to try to drown out their worries. They feel often alone a lot of times because they don't know who can they trust, who are their friends, because there's always somebody out there to use them and exploit them and take away from them. So a lot of them are depressed. Not everything that glitters is gold. A. Nicole says, people have to start checking on the strong ones. Smiles and laughters are often disguised. Hollywood needs mental health therapists to help celebrities transition into a normal life. I think that was powerful. I had to read it again because it was so good. You guys are really, really contributing to this discussion, and I really appreciate all of your wisdom in the chat. Thank you so much. Once your identity is placed external to self, it's a dark road despite the intended destination, whether it be the road back to self or further away. This is so true. We got to stop. We have to stop, guys, associating happiness with jobs, careers, riches, fame, clothes, fashion, whatever, you name it, beauty, whether you have a husband or not, or a wife or not, or kids. None of that's going to make you happy. At the end of the day, you have to find happiness. For me, I had to find it within God. That's where my source of joy was. That is where I found it. That's where I found hope. And late in the midnight hour, that's where I got my peace from, my deliverance from. The days I felt like I wanted to just end it all, he gave me the strength to just keep going. If you don't believe in God, you got to figure out what you're going to do. I don't know what to tell you, because that's really how it helped me. Go to counseling, go get therapy. You need to have therapy, especially in the Black community. There's faith counseling, like Purple Love said. There's therapists that you can go reach out to, but you cannot do it on your own because, like Speak Vision says, depression grows in isolation. A lot of people want to isolate themselves, and then they bury themselves. Away in this depression, and they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to get the help they need. Hi, Ellen. There she is, my Ellen. I just say hi again, girl. It's a shame how people view age. It is access denied. We talked about this with Chesley Chris. Ellen was there. Purple Love was there. That was one of the factors in the Chesley Chris tragedy. It was one of the many. She had a lot of factors going on in her life, but she really dreaded the age 30. And that, I'll tell you, that whole year of being 30, she was very depressed the whole year. It was all stuff going on with her too. We did a whole discussion about Chesley, but age was a big thing for her. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you guys, people think age is so minuscule, but it's not, especially in our society. A lot of people sit and they think once they reach an age, they have to be a certain place in life too. Especially the society teaches that you have to have certain things at a certain age. You have to reach certain levels. There's those achievements that says 30 under 30. Who's received all these achievements, under 30 achievements and all that stuff, and that puts pressure on people to feel like they have to achieve certain things at certain levels. And imagine that. And apply that to what Twitch was probably dealing with. Access and ISIS, there's babies coming into this world as stillborns, kids not living past 10, and people actually get to an older age, which is a blessing, and think life is over. Man, that's so sad, but man, that's true. Unfortunately, people think that when they're battling depression or mental health concerns. Oh my gosh, guys. Wow. Yep, aging is a blessing. Access denied. I used to dread turning 30. Yep, me too, Purple Love. I did not want to turn 30. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Felt like life was over. Like that was it. But when I think of those who didn't make it past 25, let alone 30, I stopped dreading it. Right? It's all about perception, but our society, that's where we get all these thoughts from in society. They have these expectations of certain ages. A. Nicole says, a strong relationship with God is essential in this life. We can't place so much value on these idols, celebrities, jobs. It's true. I feel so sad for our celebrities, man, because I talk to a lot of celebrities, and they are depressed, you guys. They feel so much. A lot of them feel very insecure too, because in Hollywood, there's a lot of artificial expectations about external beauty and other things. And then you have to go and you see all these other celebrities that are more beautiful than you. They have better bodies than you. They have all these things. And so they're constantly dealing with these thoughts of insecurity and all the pressures to keep up with the best looks and the top trends and all these things. There's a lot of pressure on being a celebrity, okay? Oh, wow, guys. All right, guys, we could be here all night. Thank you for, all of your input regarding this tragedy. Please pray for this family. Pray for the wife, the 3 children that are now without this precious soul, and just pray for the soul of Mr. Twitch. Feel so sad and deep empathy for him. All right, guys, you have a wonderful night. Take care. Be blessed and be safe and fight for your life. Your life matters. Take care.